wonderful people of the internet. We're back with another thrilling episode of the the show Stewards War. There we go.
No, let's play Doomsayers tonight. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Troy comes in with that. Yes, the Stewards War today. So with that in mind, sadly, Vinny's not joining us. They're feeling under the weather, so we'll have him next time around. But we still got a show for you today. So with that, let's see who is our wonderful cast here. Starting off with the lovely Zoe. Zoe, who are you playing today?
Hello, everyone. It is I, Zoe. I will be playing the wonderful, the never has done wrong because that's how history works, Scovio Nyakachi. I think that's it.
I think that's lovely. Let's see.
Hello, everyone. You can see me I forgot to fix the caption box on our solos. Anyway, hi, everyone. My name is Cia. Use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans reggae on the internet, C Plays RPG. And tonight, I'm here to play the one and only Ajax Rasvi, who uses any, all pronouns, heavy on the they, is big dragon butch, and is dealing well with most things, I think, personally. So I'm going to pass it over to Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris, VO Cologne, and I will be playing your GM for these preceding evenings. Within that bat all in mind, before we start this bad boy, a couple things to let you know of. First and foremost, the content warnings for this bad boy, in case you missed it, you can type in the chat !WarCW to find them. For this episode in particular, we got fantasy and gun violence, gore, trauma, fire, blood, grief, familiar struggles, severe weather, romance, and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, references to child laws, imperialism, ableism, classism, depictions of experimentation, war, and imprisonment. If any of this does not float your boat, there's a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. And if you want to follow me or any of the lovely cast members I have that are here and will be here later on in our other episodes, you can type in !Warcast to see where they are on the wide web out there. I think with that in mind and all that out the way, let's get into this episode of the Stewards War. We'll see you right back after the intro. As the camera pans around once more, it follows yet again another whistling snowflake coming down. But not from where you think it is. Rather, it falling from one of the nearby rooftops, as it is like with a bunch of snow that just plops on the ground. As we see the road is no longer that sort of a nice sheet of white or even the ice that we saw before, but rather melting, or that in-between stage when spring comes along and starts to defrost everything. We find ourselves once more in the capital of Harkensor, 2 years after the events that, started this whole damn thing. And what we see before us is no amount of solace, but rather a spearhead. We see that the place is being reconstructed. And along the dock, we see there is a multiple amount of ships either being loaded, constructed, or getting ready as this Empire's fleet has been built over the years come. Another year has passed since its war started, and it is ending soon. But for certain individuals here, how it will end will be determined by them. So, without wasting any more time, the camera pans around over to one of the nearby decks overlooking the entirety of the construction. It's more of an open-faced sort of second level that's kind of been repurposed for just a slight overview of everything. And at this point, we see two of our lovely aspects here. I will go first with Scovia. Scovia, another year has passed. How do you look like now? What's different about you? And then also, what are you feeling in this moment as you are overseeing the finishing of the fleet?
So it's snowing out?
It's
Or
like
it
spring.
has
It's
been
in terms of
snowed?
it's thawing very much.
Got it. Yes. I think we're on the docks, so I think Scovia is sitting on a box, maybe with a cigarette or something rolled to calm the nerves. There's not many, though. She doesn't look that different, as Scovia has that eternally youthful face. I think that coat still looks similar, but there are maybe more higher quality, like, clothes underneath, something that you wouldn't have seen a year ago, 2 years ago, when she was working, oh god, literally in the field. I think there is a look of, not luxury, but like, not eloquence, something that breeds comfort. Like, far away from the front lines, the difference in Scovia today is that of necessity. Needs less. Maybe that's because the emotions have changed, or it's because we're winning. But the familiar, tired look, maybe a little more focused, is in her face. Takes a long drag of the cigarette. Hey, that's not that box, the other one.
Oh.
No worries, kid.
Sorry, Commander.
Still not used to that. Yeah, no worries. Don't let the hard ass catch you.
As mentioning of a hard ass, we turn over, and how do we see at this point, Ajax? What do you look like, and what's going through your mind as you're finishing this fleet?
Ajax is like a low ember, where in the past they've been an inferno, she's been a bonfire. Right now, the fire, the heat itself is simmering. But it's no less hot. It's like when the flame burns so bright that it suddenly becomes invisible, and you can only see it through the mirage of the way the heat is rising up off the ground. There's a heaviness to them, I think. A kind of sure-footedness in the way that they place their feet, heavy footfalls against the dock, coming up and down, and their mind is full of numbers, boxes, boats, soldiers, plans. missions, instructions, and there's a kind of snaggle-toothed hunger to the edge of them. One of their horns is broken at the top. Many battles that we've fought in the past year. I think there's like a heavy, still healing scar across their arm and up their torso that's like slightly still bandaged on their arm. But similarly to Skovia, the robe that they wear now is no longer tattered and frayed and burned at the bottom. It's fine, fire-resistant cloth woven from black metal threads that glint in this half-light across the dock. And anywhere that they step, little embered footprints press themselves into the dock until most of it is blackened and charred and needs repairs already. But that's what happens when you have this commander overseeing the shipwrights. It just happens. You know where Ajax has gone, whether you see them or not.
Indeed, Commander. And the both of you have a level of newfound respect by these people. It gets harder each day to relate to them, if anything. The more powerful you get, it's difficult, but still manageable. And with that, currently you're finishing up everything. Everything seems to be in order. You see that the fleet itself, for the most part, is finished. Right now there's a lot of boarding, but everything should be ready to go by the morning. Right now you're just waiting for a report, but I think at this instance, one of the nearby soldiers kind of goes up to you, Ajax. Ajax, I have a letter for you.
Oh, good. Mail. They roll their eyes and just kind of take up the missive. And as they start to unseal it, they just crack it with this kind of clawed hand. They pop the wax seal as they start to unfold it and read it. As she takes another final stride down and comes to standing beside Skovia, and kind of as they're still reading, it just kind of gestures for the cigarette. Oh, you're muted. Let me hear whatever gay shit you just said.
No. What's it say?
What does it say?
Well, for you, I'll let you decide whether or not you want to share this personally. You do know it's from Thea. As you see, they've written out and you've been corresponding with one another. Primarily, the gist of it is that they are here. They're within the lanes. So if you want to talk, they'll be there for tonight. Not another day more.
I thought it was getting colder. And I think the cigarette burns almost down to the stub, and the single, it just all the way, just eaten up by the flame. 100%. As they, I think, pass you the letter so you can see it as well.
Yeah, Skovia has a handout, is expecting the cigarette, is handed a letter, sees the cigarette is gone. Okay, well, reads, a little midnight rendezvous.
Maybe I can still convince her that surrendering is on the table.
Oh, I doubt it. This letter reads like an ultimatum. I think they're gonna try and convince you more than anything.
Convince me of what? We made our choice, Skovia. We both did.
There is a hesitation at that. Yeah, I didn't think winning would be like this.
No.
Feels
I
like
kind
I'm
of thought we'd
drowning in
both be
work.
dead.
I kind of wished we were both dead so many times, Ajax. And yet here we are.
You know, you were the one who scooped up commander position. I figured you knew how much paperwork went into it.
Oh, I was aware, but I thought I could get out of it. You know, get some good subordinates, do some waltzing around like all those other commanders I've ever seen do.
I think Davros is doing it to spite you.
God, I haven't seen him in weeks, which I think the old me would have been thankful for, but I haven't seen Taika.
Taika spends all day in the lab.
That it does. I don't know, the tiredness of winning is so different from the tiredness of losing.
You know how they say that after a great battle, you drink and make merry and celebrate. Everything is supposed to be the history books write about.
Oh, yeah?
In my experience, I've mostly seen pyres, people so tired they fall asleep in the mud. But I trust that you have something written, some glorious plan. Maybe that'll make you feel better.
Absolutely not. The whole plan was to stay alive. And now I'm alive. Got the same old coat. With the clothes under it. They just keep changing.
There are plenty of chances for us to die, Scovia. If you're asking, I can make it happen for you, although I do think Davros would be quite upset with me.
Oh no, Ajax. I think there's something in me that is so far beyond dying that I couldn't even if I wanted to. The thing they don't tell you about wanting to live is how vicious the feeling comes back again and again and again, even when things lack that joy they used to.
This kind of low puff of steam comes out of Ajax's nose. There was another jest, probably, another, at this point, familiar back and forth. But I think it kind of burns away on their tongue. Maybe once all of this is over, you can find it again. Maybe your own midnight rendezvous.
I guess so. Enor says he wants to meet.
I saw your itinerary.
Is it fucked up that I have one?
Yes, it is.
I used to waltz around town doing whatever I want, and now I'm telling subordinates how to move boxes.
I hate seeing you mope. Come on. You want to waltz? Let's waltz.
Please.
We'll take the long way up to the castle.
And with that, you two proceed your way to the castle. Going through the streets, it's different. The last time you walked up these steps, it was for a wedding. There was celebrations, there was decorations, there was everything you could think of for a grand gesture. Now it seems a little bit more like a ghost town trying to revive itself. There's the occasional passerby of a officer going back home for the day, or somebody trying to repair their home. But for the most part, the scorches made by Rhea are still around. To the point that you see certain sidewalks on the walls themselves as the outlines of people that were just eviscerated on the side. A walking reminder of the failure. But pushing past it, walking and talking, you guys make your way to the Imperial Palace, which is where most of the construction efforts have been redirected toward. You see that they are trying to repair glass ceilings, trying to make this place into its wonderful shape than it once was, before they can make it higher, even better than before. And as you go in, you can see the place is full to the brim of soldiers going back and forth. Every time that they walk past you, there is a salute. No matter how busy they are, they stop in their tracks, give you a salute, and proceed to go off. But as you guys make your way up the steps, you can already hear today's another episode of What Bullshit Are We Talking About Today? As you can see, there is visceral arguments going on behind the doors as the two guards in front, one of them somebody you don't particularly know, and the other Anor, who is looking at you. Scovia gives you a nod, tells you, well, they're in a heated argument today, so I hope you two are ready with your lungs.
I don't argue with men that want to be in pissing contests with each other.
Well, today is Daro, so this piss is particularly unique.
Oh, God. The number one pisser.
Your turn to open the doors.
Yeah. And there is Scovia, hand in pockets, both hands in both pockets, kicks the doors open in hopes that it stops the arguing.
Absolutely not. If only it adds more to the ambience of a moment. As you walk in, you are within what looks like to be the makeshift imperial quarters, aka where the emperor would live. But it's been makeshift into a war room. You can see there's a table in the middle with sort of magic that is hologramming the surrounding area of the Ironfire Islands, as there seems to be some sort of like ward over it, whether you know if that's something that's there or if it's part of the display. You don't particularly know right now, but you notice that here are the generals, captains, and anybody who's going to participate in this battle, in a sense, that seems to be preparing is here, including Daros. You also notice that here the Owain, particularly Freya, who you haven't seen in a very long time, is here as well, in their own armament representing their house. But then you see the Emperor. The Emperor too has changed in their time. They are no longer that sort of person you knew as Mira. They have returned back into their form. You see they wear pristine robes of green and gold. And you can see there's a mask over their face that is now golden and more reflective, hiding whatever emotion is behind that face right now. But as you enter the room, you see Darius goes, all right, everyone, you can quiet down now. Since we're now full company, I can finally relate to you what exactly I've learned in my time in recon.
Good to see you too, Daros.
Lovely to see you, Ajax. Dada, it is also lovely to see you. You look like you're in good health and spirit.
Good health. Spirit, not so much.
Emperor, Daros, enough of the pleasantries, please. What exactly have you learned from the enemy? Well, if everybody wants to gather along here, and you see he kind of, using his hand, enlarges the map. Now, we've done some great work over the past few months. We put all these bastards and they've run tail back to their home island. As you all know, shows up the island. Ironfire Islands is primarily where all these bastards come from. Now, we have, for some reason, made them all go back. They've abandoned fleets, they've practically abandoned weaponry, and have all run to the capital. Now, the strange thing is, it's going to make the last assault a bit difficult. You see there's a bit of murmurs between everybody. You see one guy's, "Was it never eat hard, man?" At this point,
Scovia stifles a laugh.
Ajax shoots a like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
you see some random captain who seems to just like, who doesn't understand authority yet, very much somebody who's been hired.
Oh my god, not a fucking nepotism hire.
Nepotism war criminal, yes. With that, you see that Darius gives a good stern look at this bastard, and he goes, just saying. Goes, I understand that completely now. The assault is going to be a slight difficult. we can assault it, but we're gonna have to draw their energy or diversions in a sense. Primarily, a group of us are gonna have to go towards the front and act as a distraction. You can see this sort of a almost model in the sense of a small army or detachment on the land itself, acting as a makeshift camp. We kind of give them the runaround, the whole deal of we're gonna come attack you and set up all the equipment you would usually do in a siege. That's part one. Part two is while their attention is diverted, we have the rest of the fleet come in, do the back here. And he kind of shows off an area where there seems to be a large statue, almost like Greek in nature, of this dragonic figure that overlooks the sea. And primarily seems to be some sort of bay or harbor. Now, they don't have it locked up right tight, so if we can break the ward, we can get any ships in. So we can do two frontal. We primarily go in from the back, and while we get in, we disable what's ever in the city, and then we from both sides. Relatively simple, I think. And this is my suggestion, Emperor.
I do believe you're forgetting the fact that the assets within that capital include 2 very large dragons in their home territory where their magic is the strongest, and they are at their most protected and most volatile.
Yeah, are we supposed to lead a small strike against dragons? And who is going to be on that team?
We have the Emperor now, so we should be right all fine. Me and the Emperor should do quite fine, I believe so. If you want to make an insight check here, I think it's a lovely time for either both of you or one of you. I can let either if you guys want to both make insight checks.
Let's
As
both do it.
You feel that he's trying to convey something to you, but let's see if you get it.
But Ajax is like,
Why are you winking at me?
Why are you winking at me, bro? Like
11.
I think I got a 20 or 21, like something like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ajax, you just see Darius as being complete jackass. You do notice Scovia, the way that he is saying that, especially the concern you bring up, seems like that's a conversation for after this is done. So very much of like, very much a way a parent would be like, hey, we'll talk about this later, not in front of all the children kind of thing.
It's just so, and that's kind of weird, right? Like, not like super weird, but weird in the fact, because it's like we haven't led any sort of special strike team like that since like the impromptu, literally the impromptu strike team that we had to do before.
But you get that there, and Darius goes, look, I understand your worry, Ajax, but remember who are the gods here in this scenario.
I love the idea that Ajax opens their mouth to like keep going, and if Scovia is next to them,
Scovia's making like a confused and has understood the situation, but is confused because it feels wrong almost.
In that case, Ajax just kind of like bites the edge of their mouth and goes, if you say so. We've yet to actually go toe-to-toe with the Dragon Queen herself.
Well, I don't think it'd be too big of a problem. As always, the Emperor will provide. As you see, a number of individuals that are a little bit more zealous or more religious kind of do a quick prayer, just like, amen kind of deal. While the rest of them kind of look confused. But with that, the Emperor kind of goes, well, we can discuss that further in detail, but is there anything else we have to be wary for, Darius? Yes. There's one last thing. The scouting party did have a number of magical instruments on board to detect certain magics, just in case they might throw a curveball at us. And I will have to say there are some strange readings coming off the island that we particularly cannot determine. We're having, hopefully, the smart one maybe figure it out for us, but at the moment, there's clearly some sort of magical threat from inside, so we will have to be prepared for every contingency.
Just have Taika look at it.
That's what I meant by the smart one. None of these idiots.
Need even work. We just got an exciting prospect. I'm sure he will love it.
If we can drag them away from the lab for more than 10 minutes.
Literally recording this off of a device that it made, so I think we'll be fine.
In this moment, the Emperor kind of stands up, everybody kind of very much attentive. If you'd be so kind, everyone, I need to have a discussion with my trusted officials. You see just everybody, Emperor, and kind of just proceed out. As you see, everyone begins to leave in this instance, leaving only you, Daros, and the Emperor.
Like Scovia was going to leave, and then Dara's kind of like,
Yeah, Daros is very much just like puts hand in front of you,
It's like-
turns you around.
It's like I was really hoping that didn't include me.
When has that not included you?
I don't know, maybe trust is a finite resource. Here today, gone tomorrow.
At this point, you see the doors close, and the Emperor removes their hood, takes off their mask, and you can see now there's a general look of worry on their face. That they kind of slink into a nearby chair as they put their sort of hand against their head and be kind of massaging whatever migraine they probably have at this moment. You don't have to state every opinion that is in your mind. You can keep some information to yourself. To the both of you.
Sorry, it's so funny that they both were like...
I think that happened. I think that literally happened.
It definitely happened.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie. I check out when Daros isn't the one speaking, and if it's not you, Daros or Taika. But heard, noted. So what's the problem? Both have a look of general anxiety that I'm worried to ask about.
Well, it is as you said. The first concern on the dragons. I could maybe take on Thea, but their mother is a different story. They are the head of a pantheon in a sense, so that's equal power. Even I don't have enough strength, and the rest of the guards are dealing with their own quarrelsome natures across the continent. We've only me and Daros, and that is very short-handed.
Only two gods to combat such a big mortal problem. Can't you, call in some big brothers or something?
What big brothers? We are gods. We made ourselves. There's only one solution to this problem, but yet Daros does not feel fit that it is a solution.
What solution?
Well, I don't want to be a cherry chaser here, but I don't think it's a particularly good solution to a problem, and I feel it will going to cause more issues later down the road.
There are two solutions to this problem. One of them involves getting eaten by a dragon. The other is... we don't even know what. At least tell us.
Look, you two have your disagreements, but when have you ever disagreed on a solution to this war? What is it? We're big kids. You can tell us.
You see the Emperor looks over to Anir. Daros looks back. There's only one solution to this issue. In order to beat gods, we need gods. And while we cannot do the full process in which we did that created us, there is another way, though it will come at a sacrifice.
Like, so like I was saying, like what, you owe one of your kindred a favor or something?
Not particularly. The power that I would be entrusting would have to be with people I trust, without a doubt, which only leaves you, Ajax, and Taika. My solution to the problem is that we turn you into gods.
I'm sorry?
Ajax gets up from where they had kind of been lounging in their big-ass chair and starts pacing. And I think that she's usually a very still individual. And there are like sear marks in the floor as she's going back and forth and back and forth. His brow heavy. Answer what Scovia just said. You can do that?
Theoretically, I could give off my power into you and make you not on par with our, divinity, but of a lesser sort. But it would
So
cost me certain things.
Okay. I know I'm not the most devout, or respectful, or scientific, any of those things. No, actually, that's the whole sentence. I'm mostly just kind of shocked.
And exactly why I suggest it's a bad idea. Not only giving power to you and Taka, which you have no sense of responsibility, or even, well, you have no sacrifice, I will say that, but it is a power that you don't
No
necessarily-
sacrifice. No sacrifice. That's rich, isn't it?
Don't start with me. Don't start.
More steam.
The other concern is that you make the Emperor less powerful. If they have to divide their power up into 3 beings, that makes them less of a threat.
Yeah, that part is actually one of my core concerns. This kind of sounds like a, what is it, like a flower situation? Or is this more like a flower situation, or is this like a Johnny only has 3 pies and we each get a slice?
The Emperor can regenerate, but it's gonna take a while.
Okay. Well, hypothetically that I'm okay with this very large prospect, how long would it take for that to be the
That's
case?
not the only problem here, Scovia. The thing is, you have to turn to a god, which means you take something from them, and they take something from you. And you. It's a 2-way street, honey. You don't just get powers for nothing.
Okay.
Never
I
have.
didn't think that would be the case. Like what? What did you lose, if you don't mind me asking?
We didn't lose much. The sacrifice came from something else.
All right, I know when not to ask more questions. Okay, then what would we lose? We get to choose? Is it...
If I am taking a fucking guess, something close to you, a part of yourself, I guess. Something that makes you you. And it gets filled with whatever you take from the Emperor. And you see Mira kind of goes, and I take whatever is a part of you. Sort of filling a crack with another crack, in a sense.
Trade. A really fucked up trade. Okay.
And you can see why this is a bad fucking idea. But the other
It's-
concern that we have is that goddamn dome. That's not a ward. It's not particularly keeping anything out really good. So if it's not a ward, it's not a shield, then what is it? And why is everyone on that island running to the city? It's questions we don't have answers to.
I was above the table. Ajax was born and lived in the Ironfire Islands for most of their life. Do I know what the dome is?
I'll give you advantage.
Oh,
Of a higher
no.
DC.
Yeah, fair enough,
Come
fair enough.
on,
I will
see?
either give you Arcana or History. I don't think it should matter too much. But
Yeah, I don't
we'll
have
give it to
either.
you.
It's
Come
a,
on, see?
it's a
Crit,
straight
crit,
gay
crit,
roll.
crit, crit.
The first one was a 5,
Oh god.
Crits.
and the
Come on,
second one was a 7.
Is that a minus or whatever? Or is it just 7 in total?
Just 7.
7?
No crit
It's
farming for
something
us.
old. It is something you kind of remember. Is something they break out in case of like dire emergency. But what it is and what it does, you have no idea.
Ajax nods. When I was young, we were told stories that if apocalypse, horrible nightmares ever came to the islands, that something in the capital city would protect us. Some kind of... I don't know. It was never a problem for me, so... Never
Well, you
found out
can't
what it was.
jumpstart your noggin. You can't remember anything you learned in fucking religion class. It'll be
They taught me
freaking
to
helpful.
kill. Not to know.
You can see why I'm stressing. You can see why this is all a bad idea. And you see the kind of Daros, please. Look, those are the solution we have on the table. It is a last-ditch effort. If we could somehow divide and conquer, I'm guessing with the 2-port assault, maybe we don't have to do this. We
Why
will
haven't-
have to leave in the morning, though.
Oh God. Okay. This is like a 24-hour business deal sort of thing. Okay.
Well, it's going to take us some time to get to the fucking islands. And
No,
we
that part
don't
I
want that
understand.
dome up more than what it's been already.
Why
There is
haven't we
a-
done this already? Oh, go ahead.
There is a long, thoughtful pause in Scovia's cadence that I don't even think she understands where, like, what the part, like, which part she's thinking about. And
Ajax.
she looks over to Anor. No, that's it.
It's so fun. We keep having the impulse at exactly the same moment. We're so keyed in. Ajax has already come to a decision. I think the instant the offer was laid on the table in clear terms, they knew. They turn and they look at the Emperor. I've been their dog. I've been their soldier. I've been their enemy. I could also be their god.
Daros looks intrigued by what you say, but the Emperor gets up, very much with that sort of motherly energy to them, goes over to you. You do understand. There is no reversal. This isn't a band-aid you can rip off. If this happens, you will be in whatever form divinity takes upon you. For better or for worse.
I knew that I knew that the second I let my spear fly into Rhea.
You did, but you do not understand. It took away my ability to give life. It took Daros' ability to... You see, Daros kind of like tells them to stop for a moment. it takes something you can never obtain back.
So does any war. I'm willing to pay that price.
And what about you, Scovia?
I think this is the longest Scovia's ever been quiet for years. I'm not gonna lie. Sounds like a real permanent deal that I am not used to. Still getting used to the whole commander thing, and now the prospect of divinity is on the table, and I'm not gonna lie to you both. That is not something that I have ever even considered when it comes to this war. Hell, I'm surprised I'm even alive this long. But I see the way that they all look at you. Way more than just a silly old commander, silly old mortal. Rank. This empire's literally built off of your backs, and I don't know if I am ready for that level of responsibility. I still don't even know if I'm entirely comfortable even being here. But you all know that already.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. But if Ajax is on board, it may solve the other problem we had before us. What exactly to do with the islands once the war is finished? If we are effectively killing their religion, they're not going to be exactly a passive people.
That is true.
My solution is we just sink them.
My
that
islands.
pisses Scovia off.
Yeah. Both of them, I think, immediately turn.
Now, Taros, I'm going to look at you with a very, very, I'm going to put a very gentle hand on your shoulder, and as a refugee of war, do you really think that's the best course of action?
We are effectively killing these people's God. The things they believe cradled their life. Do you think they're ever going to allow us to rule them ever again? A constant island and rebellion after rebellion after rebellion. I'd rather not go through that.
Oh, maybe not
Don't
you. But I was born there.
Well, home is where the heart is, ain't it?
Homes can be rebuilt. Allegiances can be remade. With proper respect and instruction. And I can't believe I'm saying this, as don't you think that's partially the problem with all this sometimes? Whatever.
Just saying, if that, and he kind of points over to Ajax, is the example of what their people are like, you can see why it'd be a problem to try to tame them.
Okay. You're done. No more. All right,
And you
give me
very much of
12
like
hours.
You don't have to make a decision now, and what happens to the islands can be determined after the fact. I too do not agree with sinking a home. But if they give us no choice, then something will have to be done.
Okay. Scovia gets up, has decided mentally, emotionally, spiritually that this is enough. Okay, if you both excuse me, which you're going to, I have to prepare for a dinner date and to think about my own mortality because it might be ending. Mira, and I think there's like a very soft look when Scovia says that name. I will get back to you tomorrow morning. No, I don't know, tonight. I'll get back to you. I will not, and I promise I won't be late with this one because it feels like I can't. Daros.
Pleasure as always, my daughter.
Go sit with yourself. Okay. Ajax. This is real fucked up.
Always has been.
And I think there is something so sobering about that when she looks at you.
There
Always
is
will be.
nothing but sheer determination in their face.
There is nothing but sobering mortal hesitation in his, as if he's carrying it for the three of us.
You've been carrying it for Ajax for a long time.
I think he puts a hand on your shoulder. Oh, my devoted dog. Before it's over, at least think about yourself.
And they don't have anything. And that it's the single time since deciding that there's a flicker of anything in their eyes.
It's all she hoped for. And I think Scovia will exit.
A few moments later, Ajax turns, gives Daros a rather dark look. You will not destroy my islands. See you both in the morning. And they go kind of like stalking out of the room. But they turn the opposite direction that Scovia did when they get into the hallway.
The two look at each other, concerned, but as the door closes, night begins to come in, providing a little bit of shade for the events that are going to unfold. I think we'll take a quick break here before we get into the rest of that. So with it, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, so use a baño, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back with more of the war. We'll be back soon, folks. Welcome back, everyone. With that, before we get back into our lovely show, quick shout out, as you can see on the right of me, we are sponsored by two lovely people. You can type !TOV if you want to check out the lovely sponsors of Coldwells Press. Specifically, they got a bunch of stuff, including the system we're playing right now, Tales of the Valiant, their 5e system, Enter the Labyrinth, which is their expansion into the various realms that are outside, planar realms, and then also they're kickstarting this lovely little thing called the Monster Vault 2. So a bunch of wonderful creation monsters if you want to use this in their system. Also 5e compatible for all those folks that still use that system and want some more variety, this is a wonderful thing. Their monsters are incredible and abundant and a bunch of fun ways to scare the bejesus out of people, as I've been doing with them. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. The other lovely people that we have here is the wonderful folks over at Chepeku. They have a wonderful amount of maps and animated scenes that we've been using for our stuff, but also they also have a lovely little thing. So if you want to type in !map, you can check out not only where you can find their past maps and scenes, but also their token builder that they just released. And we'll do stream hopefully later on this month to show you the wonderful thing that is their token builder, because it's really, really awesome and very, very affordable, especially in the age of AI garbage. This is a breath of relief. But with that in mind, let's get back into it, shall we? Starting off with you, Ajax. At this point, it is night, and are you covering yourself in terms of being covert, or are you just kind of just walking about with your authority? You are very much a known figure, but it's up to you whether or not you would try to be covert or not.
I think for this specific errand, Ajax has thrown a hood over themselves and is trying to move. Not necessarily sneaking around, but is trying to pass relatively unnoticed.
No problem. You're kind of going through, find yourself back in the lanes. This was somewhere you were before when you were trying to find Rhea, and this place too has changed. You can see that a lot more refugees are here, more shanty towns, people trying to survive. They can't necessarily go back to their homes, and also they do have family members who are fighting in the war, so they can't really jumpstart their lives, as everybody is just really trying to survive and make their way through this. But as you go into the depths of the city, you find the meeting place in which they said to meet, which seems to be some sort of, you think, tavern in a sense, but somewhere along the side. And you think you may know where to go. As you can see, there looks like to be like this huge drainer or like sewage pipe that's almost on the side there for you to enter through. Though it smells ungodly, you can feel Thea's presence inside.
It's kind of like the smell of really heavy snow, or when it's really cold that it's too cold to snow, kind of like hits Ajax like in the, I guess, sinus, but it like kind of just like flows into their body, and they can feel that chill run through them, and they know that Thea is nearby.
How you feeling? You didn't really meet Thea at Coldwells past. You kind of only got blown up by them, if that's a way to describe it, and nothing else.
The rage that had lived in Ajax for so long is primarily toward Dala. And once that rage was quenched so beautifully and so effortlessly, that inferno just roared to life, and Ajax knew that the fire would never go out. But it didn't need to go so uncontrolled. And over time, over these last few months, the fabric of it has unfolded and has clarified now. There's nothing they can do at this point. The path that they're on, they've been on for a long time now. And there's this almost resigned way. Resigned, but nearly wistful. They're pretty sure that they're pretty sure that Thea isn't going to try to kill them right now. If she does, who knows what'll happen. It is what it is. And Ajax greets it with a steady rhythm, and the steam that comes out of their nose evaporates that cold that had gone through their bones at Thea's presence.
You proceed inward, and you can feel the cold. You see sort of the frosty edges of it around the steel. But as you open up within this space, you can see that it is some sort of hideaway that even you really never knew about. As you can see, there is a tree here that has only one source of sunlight from the broken sort of metal that allows it to grow. You can see there's snow here that looks more like a gentle white calm rather than sort of the icy buildup. But that is really nothing in comparison to the large tapestry which is painted and is still being painted in the back that depicts Rhea sleeping almost like a funeral, in a sense of like holding flowers, painted quite beautifully with a number of purples and reds of their favorite color as their eyes are closed. As you see, Thea is using their fingers as a makeshift brush to do their best. And sort of you coming in, and
There's nothing quiet about the way that Ajax moves. Thea knows that they've arrived. The footfalls had echoed through the tunnel as they made their way into this cavernous space. But maybe unlike herself, Ajax is relatively quiet vocally. Doesn't call out, doesn't make a jab, doesn't make a joke. And I think takes it in. And even after all this time, there's a little pang of something. A little pang of envy, a little pang of remorse, a little pang of regret. And Ajax moves to come stand beside Thea, looking up at this painted tapestry of the young dragon that she killed.
I think as you approach, maybe even feeling the wall, you see Thea kind of go, I tried to remember what she looked like before all the blood.
You did a pretty good job. Softened her, though. She was always fiercer than you gave her credit for.
She always said I made a better painter than a warrior.
She never saw you on the battlefield.
I heard about Thala. The truth of it, anyway.
Now you believe me.
Did you make it painful?
For Thala? Yes, I did. For Rhea? No death is painless, but I tried to make it fast.
I apologize for not, believing in you.
If this is some pitiable grab at my ego, it's a little late for that now. Yeah, what, you want me to go easy on you now?
A queen never lies.
Your mother is still queen, last time I checked.
she's not. She passed.
She passed.
Yep.
Ajax looks back up to the painting of Rhea, and for a commander of the opposite army, they don't react appropriately. There's a heaviness on their face, I think. You know, this time I kind of imagined that I'd be the one to do it.
Heartache did that, so maybe, if anything, you're partly responsible. On many other things.
Oh, Your Highness. Are you going to succumb to heartache too?
I'm trying not to be. I came here to apologize, but also to offer you a second chance. We're leaving.
What do you mean?
In our tomes, there is a sort of emergency guide. After the third cataclysm and the pain that came with it, the elders thought it would be a good idea to make a sort of exit, if you will. A sort of way to teleport everyone on the island somewhere safe. But it comes at an extremely heavy toll, and it is one I am willing to make.
Thea, what are you talking about? Plainly, you're never one to dance around at the courts or speak with such flowery language. Tell me what the fuck is going on.
We're leaving. And in order to do that, I have to sacrifice this world for a world where we can live in peace. Is what I'm telling you. And I want you, and you see they come down, hold you in the hands, look you in the eyes deeply, to come with me. It wasn't your fault. I understand that now. And
It's a little late to understand that now, Thea.
I understand, but it can be different. You don't have to fight us. You can leave with us, your people, not these people.
You sent me to these people.
And it was the biggest mistake I ever made, and there is nothing I can do to take any of it back, and I'm not going to apologize for doing what I thought was right in that decision.
Thea, you can't destroy this world.
Why not? It tells us what to believe in, what gods to pray to. Kills my sister and says we're the ones who started this war? You think this is a world worth fighting for? You're not that naive. Kind of let go of your hands and kind of react coldly. They don't want us here. And when this war's over, we won't be us anymore.
We haven't been us for a long, long time.
And that's why leaving can help that.
you don't get to just abandon your mistakes and leave someone else to clean it up. Me. Every time, leave me to clean it up. Make me go get Rhea. Make me go to the wedding.
You don't have to leave. That's the point of me asking you to come with us.
There are people here that I...
That's what you... No. No, I don't believe that shit for a second. Don't you lie to me. Don't tell me you start to develop relationships with these people. Murderers, psychopaths, fiends of every kind of nature. Mercenaries.
What did you call me? The very same things. No?
You're different. You know that.
I'm not different.
You are different. Ajax, please. I came all the way here. I risked my fucking life to tell you this. If anybody else back home knew what I was telling you, they would think I would be insane.
Yes, exactly. So what? I go back with you. And what? All of these years are forgiven. Do you know how many of our own ships that I've destroyed?
I am queen. My word is law. Yes, you will have to make up for those actions, but...
You are the queen and I will always be your dog. If I go with you. That's the choice you're offering me.
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be anything. I miss you. I miss the bickering in the battlefield. I miss the late talks we would have about our dreams, our hopes. I miss your warmth at night, even though we weren't. I miss you, Ajax, and I can't bear to lose anyone else I care about. You're the only person that I have left, that I give a shit about, really.
Then surrender. Then just give it up, Thea.
I'm not giving up because I still believe in our people, and I will not subject them to that thing. That machine that takes hope and grinds it into a paste. It takes everything that we are and makes us parts. That's not what we are, and you know that better than anyone else. I will not subject our future generations to live under a boot.
You're making a mistake.
And you have a choice. It is simple. There's a boat back there. We can row it out. Go back home. I can finish the ritual. It's almost done anyway. Even if you fight us, you won't be able to make it in time.
You know, Thea, you are right. And I miss you too. But Rhea was right too. You do make a better painter than you do a warrior. And Ajax turns, grits their teeth, and the dash of hope, the white flower that had bloomed through the snow in their heart, burns away to ash.
Are you still standing there, or are you leaving the conversation?
They start walking away.
Ajax, please no.
Chris,
Please,
you're fucking
Ajax.
breaking my heart.
Don't leave me, please.
They waver. For the
You're
first
only
time in who knows how many years that they've been fighting. For the very first time, they have killed, unquestioningly. They have destroyed, unflinchingly. They have served with every ounce of loyalty in their body, mind, and soul. And for the very first time they waver. They put their hand like out onto that rimmed tunnel. I'm not gonna be a dog anymore. Thea. I'm gonna be a god. And they leave. And their claw marks gouge into the stone along the soft edge of Rhea's face, marring the paint and the rock as they go.
What you hear behind you echoing, it's the frantic cries of not a warrior, not a monarch, but almost of a child. As they feel the darkness encroaching around them, the cries almost like a willing siren. And you hear claw marks slashing, breaking this painting they have been working on, leaving nothing behind. Only the sorrow of the last dragon. And as we cut from that scene,
Chris, that was fucking evil. I need interjection. That was evil. I know we're playing a villain. This is a villain campaign, a villain show. We're the bad guys, but I've never regretted joining us. That was rough. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't worry. Round two, baby. All right.
This is the most fucked up thing you've ever done to me. Congratulations.
Fucked thing I've ever done yet. With that.
Godspeed, Zoe. Your turn.
All right.
Hi, Zoe.
I'm sure we'll be good. We'll be great.
Hi, Zoe. With that,
All right.
cutting over to you. You are in. I'm gonna say. Are you at his place or your place? What you say?
Oh God. I've never actually. Home. Let's give him home court advantage. We're at Mira's place.
Okay, gotta flip the coin. You get the kick first. I got it. So with that, going over at the moment, you are in his home. It's a nice place. You see, he lives on like one of the nearby high rises that have been kind of rebuilt. Probably maybe 4 floors up. You see, looking over the balcony, a wonderful dinner with like chicken and sort of candle lit and wine. Only one problem, Anir's not here yet, and it's been about a good hour, you would say.
Oh, okay. Scovia is generally, always has been confident in Anor's ability not to die. So I think I'm not worried. I'm a little confused, because I'm the late one, usually. So, Nora's always the punctual one. That's kind of how we balance things out. Fashionably late, incredibly early. So I'm kind of just looking around this home, if that's what you'd want to call it.
Here's my question. Are you going to be a little nosy Nelly, or are you just going to...
Of course I'm going to be a nosy Nelly.
Make a perception check if you want to be so
easy.
kind. If you want to be like, even though you're idling, you can't help that part of yourself that's just like trying to analyze your surroundings.
There's always something out of place. It's going to be a 20.
20. You notice as you're going about, it is very much open area, so very much the balcony connects to, just the general like living room area of this place. And you do notice by like near the door, there's a number of supplies that seems to be put in sort of a travel bag or backpack of some sort that you would associate with someone who is leaving for somewhere, which doesn't make too much sense because if he's getting on the boat, all the supplies are already on that boat. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a military convoy. They have everything you need. You don't really need that much stuff. So it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah. Interesting. I think that's the one thing that kind of stands out in this, because I think this space has always been empty. Unlike Scovia's place that is filled with every little like whim and whimsy that is left in the scars of a war, I think Inur has chosen a more, what I think people would maybe say frugal, but like I know his salary. Like he could buy a bunch of things, but it doesn't seem
more
like
functional, if anything. It's very
functional.
Much like what would work best for his lifestyle.
Like what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Inur is he's like the attendant of the emperor, right? Like
he is now. Yeah, he was captain of the guard, and then kind of got upgraded after the year to like being personal guard to the emperor.
Yeah, that's like top 5 highest paying jobs in the empire.
Yeah,
like,
on Indeed it goes. Emperor's personal bodyguard, house guard, just city guard, then prison guard. So he's up there. He's top 30.
Like top,
yeah,
30 for 30. So I'm kind of noting that like ordinarily it wouldn't be strange to have that, but given the everything that's happened like what 8 hours ago max, I'm kind of like, this is gonna be a conversation, isn't it? Okay.
With that, you see he kind of comes in, sweaty from like all the running he's been doing today, and also slightly hotter than usual. And you see kind of begins to just unbuckle any unnecessary metal plates that are just unnecessary for a relaxing evening. As you see, he just kind of unbuckles and goes, "I am so sorry, my love. It has been a hectic day, and I'm wiped, but I'm here for dinner. I am extremely sorry." He kind of comes over, gives you a quick kiss on the cheek.
No worries. It's not like I expected you to be dead, so who's...
Yeah, no, what are we eating? Because I have no...
Don't worry. Hey, I got you. I got it from your favorite spot, and I even made a little sauce because I had some time that I was not expecting. We got chicken, we got green beans, some mash.
Oh, God. And you see he just immediately just, like, he's trying to be calm and courtly, but there's just a part of him that just wants to, like, pick out right now.
I let him go. Yeah, just go.
Thank you so much. It's just like a hand just...
Yeah. I think I grab the bag, but like not in the Scovia fashion. I grab the bag, I keep it on me, I put it under the table for when it is appropriate to ask about, and I let him eat. Scovia, I think, isn't hungry after the conversation today. Hasn't been. Like it's full on a stomach of anxiety and life decisions.
Yeah, I think eating kind of goes in. You very much make small talk, kind of going through quick conversations. But eventually, as he kind of finishes towards eating, and the stars are particularly out at this moment, you see he kind of goes, "So, what happened today?"
He wasn't in there. Oh yeah, because he's not.
He was outside. He heard mumbling and he didn't really get the conversation.
I ask you a question.
True.
How long have you lived in all of this? You're from the Empire, right?
Yeah, I'm from Mali. It's a nice place. A lot of games, but not a place too affected by the war. More fuels it, if anything.
That's as nice as it can be.
Yeah.
I'm not. Refugee of the Third Cataclysm and all that.
I know that can be rough.
Yeah, there's not a lot of us left. As I'm sure you can imagine why. I don't talk about it a lot. Not to
And
be a downer.
No, I mean, I'm here for you if you ever do want to talk about it. I'm here, you know. I know it's a touchy subject, but that's what partners are there for. To just, you know, I give you your space when you need it. If you need me, I'll be there. If you want to go away, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you.
That's why. The best partner I've ever had.
Same here.
There's like a look of genuine shock on Scovia's face, because it's not that Inora is not someone that says these things. I think this is the first time in which she believes it. Do you have... Keep up the weird questions. Is there a god that you're fond of in all of this?
You bring up religion, and you see his face kind of shifts into a kind of an awkward way. It goes, not really. I don't, kind of looks around just in case. Really believe in them.
Yeah, I mean...
They're just people, I think.
Is a man. I've grown up with him and found me during tragedies unfolding, literally. For a long time, I used to think I was just some pet he took on as a whim. I still don't even know why he was there.
Look, I wouldn't... It's not my place to describe any sort of relationship that you may have with that, but it's not a pet. A pet you usually feed once in a while. You may forget about it. You show compassion once in a while, but it's not something you're particularly worried about all the time. Daros does actually care, which is very surprising given the individual he is.
No. Took me a long time, literally until the war, to realize that he means the words that he says to me. Can you believe that? God of the Empire.
Well,
Caring about little old me.
He's just one of them. He's special, but he ain't that special.
All right.
But it seems to come out of, not to be a dick or rude or anything. It's just, are you all right?
He looks him in the eye finally. You're more right about gods being mere men. Because Mira, the Emperor, has asked...
You see, he says Anir. They don't know the Emperor's name is Mira. It's like...
Yeah, and I think there's like a biting of like Scovia's tongue because I think it took a few years, maybe a few months of like constant reprimand from the Emperor side to be like, don't call, not here. You're like one of 3 people that knows that. One of 3 mortals probably that knows that. It's fine. Yeah, the Emperor has a name. Fun fact. And I know it.
Interesting.
This is so hard. Anyway. The Emperor has asked us to become gods.
You see, he's like sipping on wine and just go...
Yeah, no, that's the appropriate reaction. Ajax has said yes, and I'm sure Taika is mulling over the information now once he finally gets a break out of the lab.
Well, Clearly the answer is no, right? And who would want that?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Genuinely.
You're not. See, he puts the cup down. You're not actually considering it, are you?
Why would I, and I say this not in the way that most people would mean it, why would I not consider it? It's a literal ask from the Emperor.
Yeah. Emphasis on ask. When I ask my neighbor for sugar, they don't have to give me sugar.
They wouldn't ask if it wasn't needed.
But no is a acceptable response.
Yes, no is an acceptable response, and I am thinking about saying no.
Why are you thinking? Just say no. What is there to think about? There are already two gods that are capable enough, a whole pantheon is capable enough of solving their own shit. Why do they need you?
Yeah. That's the thing. I keep mulling around and I keep rolling around in my mouth, in my mind. Why me? I'm supposed to be a no one, a ghost. I'm not supposed to have a home anymore since I lost mine. My relationships are supposed to be finite at best, and yet here I am, defying all the things that I imagined my life would be. And then a god asks me, an emperor, a god. It's not supposed to mean something?
Scovia, I'm wondering if you'd be brutally honest right now, because this is a very serious topic. As much as I love you and love everything about you, you have a very big problem when it comes to codependency.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you constantly say that I hate my dad, I hate Daros, but yet, like a sad puppy, you're always going to him when he comes around the corner calling for your help. And I think deep down, you want his approval, and you think this might finally get it for you. And
you think?
Not to be the spoiler of the party, it's not.
Well, joke's on you. He actually doesn't want this for us.
Then he's a better man than I thought he was.
Yeah, it's kind of his whole thing. That's the whole theme, is that there is a sliver of humanness in the divinity.
So, good. He doesn't want you to do it. You don't have to say yes. So, I'm not seeing a conjuring here. You can just say no and move on with your life. So...
I could. And I might. But I thought I should at least do it justice, to give it some thought.
No justice. You don't have to think about it. Just say no.
No, I don't? Okay. And you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't do it.
Fuck no, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
Why? Do you really have to ask why?
Yes.
2 years of war, and you're asking me why I not want to be a god. I know what they've done to get where they need to be. I may serve them, but I am not doing it for them. I do it to protect everyone else from them and their decisions. The only way you can do that is being near them, but even then, I find that difficult each day.
Do you not think that I could do that as one?
Scovia, it's power. You've never been good with power.
You don't think so, do you?
No. It goes to your head, and it corrupts.
I think I could go beyond the corruption. I think I could. I think I'm one of the only fucking people in this
You asked for my
council.
opinion. I gave it to you. I don't understand. What is this?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you because I trust you. Because
I
I love
underst-
you. Because I want your opinion on something that is literally so life-changing. I don't know what to do.
Well, I told you, just say no. It is that fucking simple. I don't know how
Do
many
you
times I've-
think it is as simple as just doing what other people tell me? I've never been good at doing that.
Well, maybe now's the time to branch a new leaf and just...
And listen to you.
Yes,
Because you know what's best.
I didn't say that. I said...
No, you didn't. You never say it, but you have this air about you. You know what's best. You know what to do. What? Because you climb yourself up to the ranks. You do everything right. You're Mr. Perfect.
I'm not perfect. I never said I was fucking perfect, you know? Don't put
You act
words in
like
my
it.
mouth. He kind of gets up. Look, I gave my opinion. I know you're stressed, so I know this is coming from a place of stress. So I'm not going to take this personally. Just say no. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple.
All right. I'll say no.
Great. Good. On the same page.
After you tell me what this is about.
Oh, for
And I put the bag
fuck's
on the
sake.
table. Where are you going? When are you going? You're deserting,
you
which I
just
don't
can't-
mind.
You can't help yourself, can you? This is my
What
house.
do you mean?
This is my home. Why are you snooping around it?
I'm not. You were gone for an hour, and I was curious. Actually, it's not even that I was curious. It caught my
That's
eye.
snooping. That's the literal
It's the
definition.
one thing out of place. Inor. And I don't think it's snooping this time. Okay, fine. Let's say it's snooping. But I don't think it's a problem to notice that you're planning to leave.
You see,
Who would I be if I didn't notice?
he goes towards the area where you found that backpack. You see, he opens like one of the nearby closets, and out the bag, you see there's like an identical one that he pulls out. If you were effective at your job, you would have noticed there are two bags.
Here we
One for
go.
me, and one for you, as he tosses it towards your direction.
Scobie opens it. And it has all of my stuff in it already. Right?
I'm not going in the morning.
Where will you go? Where would we go?
I'm going home. You wanted a quiet place. You want a place where people will accept you for who you are. That's my home. I got a place. Ancestral home. It's a nice place in the woods. We don't have to participate in this anymore. We don't have to be these cold-blooded things they are turning us into. All right? I can't sleep at night, Scovia. I'm doing things that they say are for the betterment of people, and I just don't feel that. And from what I've heard, you've done things too that aren't exactly you.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like I'm the only person here that even begins to question orders.
Scovia, I'm going to ask you a question. And since we're being honest with each other, I need a straight answer.
Yes.
You see, he puts his hands on his hips. Did you kill Lenora?
Yes.
Why?
Admittedly. I felt hurt. I felt like I had nothing to live for. You weren't there. And I'm not blaming you.
You didn't kill her. You murdered her. You know her kid was in the room? You know that? You know what kind of fucked up thing you did to that child?
A part of me had a guess, but admittedly, I was
You had
not
a
going
guess,
to.
and you still did it? What kind of person goes into the room of somebody's child and murders the mother right there?
One person that felt so empty and betrayed that they would do anything to feel something.
Did that compute in your head that was fucked up? That there was something
No.
wrong with that?
I was
Does that
drowning.
seem like a normal behavior?
No, none of this is normal, Inor. I was drowning in a fucked up grief.
You're not the... I understand. I have lost people too. Sisters, brothers, and fathers. But I have never stooped low enough to murder those people in cold blood, especially in front of their children.
You've never lost your home twice, have you? Because that's what it felt like, Inor. Having the only people, the first people that gave me home and love and company and trust and fellowship turn against me for a fucking empire that they don't even like. No one likes any of this. Mute it.
They didn't do it for that. They were scared.
Why?
They were scared and thought we were losing.
We were before that battle. What about
At
me
least tell me you regret it. That if you would go back, you would tell yourself, no, that's not the right thing to do.
I hear her voice every morning when I wake up and every night when I fall asleep. My friend haunts me with every waking moment, with every order I give and every one I take. But do I regret it? I still don't know. Because it's the closest I felt to her since she turned her back on me.
Who are you? You're not Onye. You're not. You are not the person I fell in love with. The person I fell in love with, yes, mischievous. Yes, they are someone that has had a rough life, but they would never stoop to such low levels of skullduggery. For something that wouldn't even affect the war. It's this place, Savoie. It is changing you, and we need to leave before it becomes permanent. You want to know what this stuff is? I booked a boat. It will take us far away from here, back to my home. Nobody will know where we're gone, and they're too busy with this assault to even bother.
Oh,
and from
my
what
God, do you think
it seems like, it's the last one.
Do you really think two gods are just gonna let us walk out of here?
Yeah. 'Cause
5, 10,
in their
15
eyes,
years.
we're not important. You think somebody that powerful, if you were compared to, they think of us like insects, like bugs. You think they give a shit if one of us runs away?
He just asked me to be a god. I think that makes me pretty damn important.
No. He wants you to be a pawn, because that's what your father does. He's a fucking chess player. He's always moving the pieces. He's always manipulating people. He doesn't care for anyone. And to break it to you, because it seems like you need this, fresh of water in your face, he's not your father. He's a dude that picked you up in the middle of a war. He doesn't care. He saw you and saw an opportunity to make a weapon. And he did. But just because he made you into that doesn't mean that's what you need to end up.
Oh, of course, there it is. No, I never did think you understood.
I am the only one who understands what it is to walk in the dark, and I am running away from it into the light, because this is not what I want to be remembered for. They'll sing pretty songs and ballads about whatever fucking battle they'll have tomorrow, but in my heart of heart, I know people will die because they died because of other people who thought it would be a great idea to have power, to believe in gods rather than people. It's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know I'm right. And just because what I'm saying isn't nice doesn't mean you get to just brush it aside as another part of childhood trauma that I don't understand. Like I didn't have any fucked up shit in my back.
There it is. You don't understand me.
Yeah.
And I literally don't think you ever will.
Well, we have a chance to fix that. You see, he grabs his bag. The boat is in the dark, pure 9. It leaves right before the morning light. If you want to be someone different, if you want to be remembered for something more than the blood that was spilled for whatever war this is, come with me. I still love you, and while we are fighting every part of me, my soul is yours. Nothing will change that. Just make the right decision. Don't go. Come with me.
Scovia closes the distance that undoubtedly was between the two of them. Places a hand on Inua's chest. My love. I will be there.
I love you, Scovia.
And I love you.
Gives a kiss. Takes the stuff and walks out the door. Scovia, what are you feeling in this moment as you are alone with this stuff?
An intense amount of shame. As I look into a corner and I see Lenora's ghost, as I always do, I don't regret what I did to you. And I pray that the retribution comes in a young boy that has lost his home too. And Scovia takes a look out into this city as we are on a skyline, a balcony. This horrible house is the home that she has made. And she doesn't know if she can give up a third one. To be with someone that throws, doesn't understand. What about Ajax? What about Taika? Those two don't understand, but at least we've been in this hellhole together. Need to go talk to Mira. think there is something I need to accept, for I think it is a mistake.
For the sake of expediency, going over, very much going through, you can see they are currently still in their same clothes, coming up to you without their mask or get up just full on normal. Scovia, what is it? What happened?
Why? Why did you become the head of such a pile of mess this is? Why an empire? Why lead a bunch of people that do such cruelties as kill their first friend? Do you really think all of this is worth it, Mira?
You see they come up to you, go to the balcony. What I'm about to tell you is something only reserved for the Exalted, as we were the only ones who understood that day why exactly we needed to form an empire. After we defeated Oblivion and became gods, we were unleashed with a vision. While we may have prevented a calamity, a cataclysm, another one far worse was coming. It would consume and corrupt, and all of us were unable to stop it because we were not united. Death at the hands of the witch and the crow. God killers.
Weren't you the god killer? Wouldn't all you be the god killers?
Something more powerful than any of us, really. There are more coming. And without this empire, we will be unable to stop them from spreading decay, disease, corruption. They will end this world. They are dangerous. And even then I was not swayed, but then I remembered I have 2 children who will have children, hopefully, who will then have children. There are more that will live beyond us, surpass us, and I want to make a world where they feel safe. So while it may seem that we are cruel, that we are monsters in the way we handle peace, it is for a greater good. I'd rather be labeled a monster today rather than a relic in a world that doesn't have any gods.
Said something similar a few years ago. And if I left, and if I got on a boat to live the life of a farmer with my beloved, what would you all do?
They get up, look you in the eye, and say nothing. Your choices are your own, Scovia. From the little child that crawled their way out of the rubble to the woman I see before me. We live and die by them. And that decision, while you may think lies with me, Daros, or even your beloved. It lies as they touch your heart, with you.
He never says I'm power hungry. But I think he misunderstands. There hasn't been anything more exciting, more interesting than the mess that follows you. Know that if I join you, it is not for something as noble as making a home. It's to make a huge explosion when I die from all the sins that we've caused.
Well, that's
Because
the
I'm still
thing.
not convinced.
Here's the thing, Scovia. I don't need stewards. I need monsters. That is the only way you fight corruption as dark as oblivion. I'm willing to take that sacrifice. The question is, are you?
Mira, O Emperor. I don't think that we're gonna make it out of this. Even if we win. I think if we wanted a world of peace, this wouldn't be the way to do it. But I want to see the end.
My darling,
Because I don't...
the order comes first, then the peace. A force
place
must
a hand on her chest, go God.
If you leave, it is your decision. I will not stop you or hunt you. Daros will be a little child about it, but he'll have to deal with me. Rest assured, whatever decision you make, I will support you. If this is the last time we meet each other, I will say, Scovia, it has been an honor to know you.
Now you.
Have a wonderful rest of your night. As they begin to go back up the stairs. With that,
Scovia looks long at the corner again. This shit will fall. So will I.
as that happens, morning comes around. And as it does, the birds begin to crow. The light begins to shine over everything. And at this moment, the Emperor makes their way forward to her stage. Ajax, where are you as everybody begins to load onto the ship?
At the front, right on the bow. Already there, ready to sail back to a home that once knew them.
Scovia, where are you?
At the back. swallowing all the hesitation in our body. Because this is the wrong choice. But it is the more fun one.
And with that, the Emperor approaches forward as they yell out to everyone. Today, we set forth to end a war. A war of pain. As it cunts to Thea, hair messy, tear running down their eyes as they finish the last of their scratches in the wall. Drooling savagery towards their new enemies. A war that has taken our hope. Looks over to Anir waiting at the bow of a ship and a gentleman tapping his shoulder that it's time to go. Today you make history, my loyal stewards. For the enemy is on the run. They have no mercy. They have no gods left. But we are here to save them. To give them a better way of living. Of praying. Of worshipping. This empire we have built together, my children, will be whole once more. But I am not alone in this endeavor. Among us there are heroes. Looks over to you all. There are villains. Daros scheming in his corner. And then there is the Exalted. So go with my blessing. Win this war not in my name, or even the name of the gods. Do it for your father, for your mother, for your siblings, and for your child. Do it for those who cannot defend themselves. Do it for the devout. Rage until your light is ended, and I will guide you to a place paradise. For the Exalted! For our empire! As there is a loud roar, and sails begin to go down, and one by one, the ships begin to go into the thick mist, into the oceans that will lead to the last battle of the Stewards War. And that is where we shall end it for today. Yay!
Yay? Are we sure the yay is the right word? I'm not sure the yay is the right word. I'm sure it happened.
Yay is the right answer. That's not everyone. It's a little short episode, but just as sweet. And that is the episode before our penultimate. Yay! With that in mind, we're going to go in reverse order here for our lovely folks that have all the sweet, sweet plugs. So with that in mind, C, please start us off with where people can find you and plug away.
You see what I have to deal with when I come onto this channel? You see what I'm put through? Yes and was not in the chat tonight. It was not present here. It was not present here at all. And if you liked it, you can follow me at cplaysrpg, where I make very trans, very gay art. You can always find me on Transplanar on Saturdays as producer, Artemis, and dramaturg. Otherwise, that's fucked, Chris. That's the hardest thing you've ever made me had to do on stream, and it was rough. It was hard.
Yet,
I guess. Oh, woe is me, woe is me. Me when I joined the villain campaign, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Me when I reap the rewards of joining the villain campaign. No, 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 no.
No.
Anyway, that's been me, I guess. Zoe?
Hi everyone, it is I, Zoe, Radical Zoe, everywhere that matters. You see that face? Let me see, am I pointing in the right direction? You see that face? Scovio and Yakachi, it's the other way. You see, this is the face of a woman that has never done anything wrong, and a man that has only ever done wrong. That's by gender, baby. If you like what I did here, then you'll love what I do when I'm on here. That's usually the only place that you'll find me. You'll find me supporting Transplanar and yelling at my friends on the internet. That's all from me.
and then that leaves me, the guy responsible for this mess. Hello! My name is Chris, and I've been your humble GM for these preceding evenings. You can find me on the interwebs at VO Cologne, more on Blue Sky than Twitter, because Twitter's a burning hellscape. More of a crater at this point, so more on Blue Sky, if anything. In terms of what we got going on, this Sunday is the finale of the Doomsayers. That's the last episode of the Doomsayers there, and when we come back, hopefully next Wednesday, we'll have the penultimate of the Stewards War. So keep an eye out for that there. Beyond all of that, we hope you had a wonderful time with us, and we can't wait for next week as we finish off this war and hopefully go for a better tomorrow. Am I right, folks?
That propaganda speech at the end was really something, Chris.
Hey,
Really something.
we love propaganda.
Have you ever not been sold on
Imperialism.
propaganda, but like still kind of ride the wave? Hi, nice to meet you, Scovio and Yakachi.
With that in mind, everyone, we hope you have a lovely night, and we'll hopefully see you this Sunday. But until then, bye-bye, everyone.